The greatest game I have ever played, The Last of Us. I was 10 years old when the game first came out on the PS3. I still remember watching the beginning scene of the game while my dad was playing it on release day and thinking to myself how good this game looks when really the graphics were really bad, but for a PS3 game, they looked really good. And I remember the scene where Joel's daughter dies and the outbreak happens in the beginning. I've never played a game that has got me so hooked just by the first couple minutes of a game. Naughty Dog always knows how to tell a great story in their games, but I never actually beat the game for the first time until I was 6 years later after the release. The Last of Us Part 1, not Part 2, I mean Part 1. It has the best story in any video game I've ever played, hands down, not a question. The character building between Joel and Ellie is something I have never seen before in a video game. It's weird because you get to play and actually be there while Joel and Ellie are growing fond of each other slowly throughout the game. At the beginning we see Ellie as this bratty child, but as the game goes on, we get to learn about her as a person and she becomes a very likable character. When you're playing this game, you actually start to care about Ellie. You're not just playing this game with a side character that you couldn't care less if they died or not. One thing I really liked about this game is the combat system. The whole system of finding and collecting things that you will need to fight, like ammo, bandages, guns. Each weapon has their own ammo, and the ammo is scarce to find in this game. So you actually have to use your weapons wisely to when you absolutely need them. The combat system makes you think and makes you actually feel like you're in a zombie survivor game because the materials you get are scarce and they need to be used wisely. The different zombies and enemies that you encounter make you actually have to think about how you are going to take on an enemy, because one way of killing a zombie isn't going to be the way you can kill every single zombie. This isn't just a Call of Duty campaign where you have M4 and are just killing everybody in sight brainlessly. You have to somewhat think and strategize, and that's what I really like about The Last of Us. Another thing that is just amazing, and it's what Naughty Dog always nails on the head, is the scenery. The scenery of The Last of Us is so beautiful. I love the different types of places you travel to, and I like that they incorporated the different seasons that you see throughout the game. The winter season was my favorite. I really like that part of the game with the snow. It always sticks out in my head when I think about The Last of Us. And one other thing that I love that The Last of Us does effectively, they make you care about the characters in the game, all of the characters in the game. Like, for example, the side characters that we met earlier in the game, Henry and Sam, the brothers. We played a couple of missions besides them. We got to know them a little bit, but later the group gets attacked by zombies and Sam gets caught and eventually turns into a zombie. The next morning, Sam gets fully turned into a zombie and tried to attack Ellie, which made Henry shoot his gun at his own brother, and then he proceeds to kill himself after.
Oh, okay, easy.
This is your fault.
This is nobody's fault, Henry.
It's all your fault.
Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
This scene in the game had a bigger effect on me than I thought a game could. The game actually made me feel for these characters that weren't the main focus of the game. The whole section of the game made us remember that we are living in a zombie outbreak and people are going to die. You can't really trust anyone. You can't make friends. This made the game dark again real quick, and they did it so well. The whole environment of The Last of Us is done really well. When I was playing, I found myself at times actually thinking hard about how I'm going to take down this building of zombies using the least amount of equipment I have. The zombies feel good. They never feel clunky. They really are always a challenge to you because of the limited resources you have, and there's different types of zombies that you have to use different resources on. I really like how the game makes you feel like you are a real survivor. The music of The Last of Us was something special that I thought was really, really well done. It has one of the best soundtracks for a video game that I have ever played. In most AAA bitch story games, there's nothing really special about their soundtracks. There's nothing that stands out to me, but with The Last of Us, it is different. When you hear that guitar string playing, you will immediately think about The Last of Us. The game has almost its own sound with it. One of the reasons I was disappointed with The Last of Us 2 was that it had no sound with it. The soundtrack was very generic. It was nothing special, and that's all I'm gonna say about the second part because that whole game can be a whole nother video in the future. There's a lot to talk about with that one, but the sounds and aesthetics that Naughty Dog creates in their games is absolutely beautiful, and it is always memorable to me. But I want to talk about one of my favorite moments in the game when Ellie meets these strangers named David and James while looking for medicine for Joel because he's sick. Ellie finds medicine working with these strangers to stay alive and to leave and give it to Joel. She gets chased and hunted down by a group of people working for David. While trying to escape, she gets ambushed by David, someone she had teamed up with earlier and that she thought she could trust. Ellie wakes up in a random deli in a cell and she finds out that David is a cannibal and wants to eat her, supposedly. It gets really creepy, but while all of this is happening, Joel wakes up and sees that Ellie is missing and he goes searching for her. This moment right here, this story is my favorite fight and mini storyline throughout the game because you are switching back from playing as Joel to Ellie, as Joel is searching for Ellie all around in a panic. While you are playing as Ellie, you are playing, in my opinion, the best fight in the game where you're just sneaking around the bar like you are Snake from Metal Gear Solid, trying to hide from this guy, chasing you and getting an attack in when he's not looking. The whole atmosphere while you are playing the scene is very tense. You can feel it while playing it, and that's what I love about it. You can feel it in the air. And while slowly the bar is burning down and Joel is searching for where Ellie is while you're trying to run from this crazy man that's trying to eat you and cut you up, eventually you attack David and both of David and Ellie pass out from the burning building. Then Ellie wakes up.
Just not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
You think you know me? Huh? Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Ellie! Stop! Stop!
Fucking touch me!
It's okay. It's me. It's me. It's me. Look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
I love that when you are playing this, you can actually feel how tense and important this battle was. And this part reminds you once again that you can't trust anyone and that you are playing a zombie survival game. So it's not all rainbows and roses. The journey with Joel and Ellie in this game actually feels like you are on a journey to go save the world because that's what you were doing. And Ellie's character throughout the game just shows how much effort and time was put into writing for this game. All of Ellie's friends, family, parents have all died and she has been alone for her whole life. But when Joel showed up, that changed. He stuck with her. In reality, for Joel, this whole story is a second chance for him to raise a daughter and keep her alive. The longer the game goes on, the more he starts to care about her, and that makes him not want to see Ellie go, leading to the end of the game. One of the best line of events I have ever played in a video game, where Ellie is in the hospital ready to save the world, ready to die for a cure to save the world, while Joel is fighting off a whole building of guards going to save Ellie. An amazing mission that the last one in this game is. It's very memorable and it's actually so good. I can't even explain it into words. You truly feel like you are in a race against the time, running up to a building to save the person you have grown close to.
I got you. I got you. Oh, shit.
The game, starting from beginning to end, is the greatest storyline I have seen in a video game yet. Even when thinking about my favorite games, the second game is right up there behind the first. I just really love the story that Naughty Dog created for us. The game starts with Joel carrying his baby girl, failing to save her, and the game ends with Joel carrying his baby girl and saving her.